Alright, so I attempted my very first Legend Stage 6 solo, and honestly, it was kind of scuffed, but I'll be showing you guys and telling you guys about the things that I advise you to get during a solo run. So of course, you want to have your main damage dealers. I used this loadout right here. I have Asta for my main damage dealing. Absolutely crazy unit, I recommend getting him. I have Todoroki for that slow. He's very cheap. He's like a Mochi, but less range. And then I have Yuno, of course, a really good heal unit, and fairly easy to upgrade with a ton of damage. I have Gojo. I didn't really use Gojo as my DPS, but I used him as a support because he does have that global time stop for 8 seconds, so that's definitely W. And then of course I have Bulma and Speedwagon for my 2 money units because you gotta get your money up while you're there. And I currently don't have a macro because of course these legend stages are getting pretty ridiculous. They're getting really hard, but soon enough I will try to find a macro for that. But the main tip that I really recommend you guys getting, and this is not a tip where you could just complain because it's hard to get. No, this is really easy to get. It's in the relic section, and I recommend you guys getting one of these relics. I recommend either getting the Arankar Crown or the Arankar Shark Blade. Don't go for the first one because it doesn't give that much KARAKORA damage buffs, but basically to get these relics, you gotta go ahead and go to the legend stages, the KARAKORA Town legend stages. Just kill random enemies, get the Arankar mask, craft their blades, craft them up to the Shark Blades, and then craft them up to the Arankar Crown. And as you can see right here, look at the buffs that this gives. 194% more damage to KARAKORA Town enemies. So that's what, like times 2, times 3 more damage with my Asta, and he already has like a bunch of base damage. I think it's up to like 5k, so multiply that by 2. That's already 10k off the bat against the KARAKORA Town legend stage enemies. So yeah, definitely get these. If you can't solo the legend stage 6 yet, go ahead and do it in the Discord, ask for some help, and then solo if you don't want like anyone else messing you up. But besides all that, let's get inside my first attempt into soloing legend stage 6 against Aizen. Alright, so the first thing that I did is of course place down my money units. Alright, I placed down my Speedwagon, I placed down my Bulma, and I upgraded both of them so I could just get my money up. Alright, I don't really need to worry about them until wave 8 because I'm going to be using the back of the line to place down my units so I could actually start fighting. You know, mostly my Asta, my Gojos, and my Todorokis are going to be back there, while my Yunos are going to be around the roundabout, you know, be on that little hill, because of course there's no area besides that except the little houses on the roofs, which I don't really like, where hill units could actually spawn. It would be really nice if Yuno was a hybrid, but no, it is what it is. I'm taking him as he is right now. But once we get to wave 7 to wave 8, of course I placed down my Asta first so I could get the ground killed, and then I placed down my Yunos because of course flying units are coming through. I believe they spawn really early, and as you can see in the back, the flying units are already coming through. They are a big problem in this game if you don't get rid of them early on. They start off with around like 20,000 HP, so if you don't place out a lot of hills that could kill them, it's over. Alright, so you gotta be careful. But once I place it down, I upgrade them up a little bit, and then I start placing down my Astas and upgrade them because they have the crown doing the most amount of physical damage, so I want to upgrade them the most. I just place the Yuno down to get the heirs so I can, you know, focus the priorities on the heirs first, but then after that, once clear, place down the Astas and it's good to go. From then on out, of course, I placed down my Todorokis, my Gojos, and I just spread them out a little bit. Of course, this is a little scuffed. This is a way more scuffed than before, so throughout this entire gameplay, you might be seeing me place down Todorokis in other places or sell and replace because I don't really know the entire setup and loadout yet. This is just an attempt, and somehow, I'm not gonna spoil it, but you can see in the end, somehow I did something pretty impressive. But yeah, if you already don't know what the legend stages are for the legend stage 6, there's the bosses combined from every single legend stage up to 5. They're gonna be put into this one. So as you can see, there's Eel, Whis, and there's a bunch more coming after this, and they actually spawn pretty early, which is the scariest part, but at least they don't spawn with a lot of HP. Alright, they don't scale as hard as their actual legend stages intend them to, which is a good given. The only one that could be scary is Whis, because of course he has that second abomination form, and it honestly goes kind of hard, so that's why I have Gojo to have that time stop. But yeah, later into this, you're gonna see my full loadout, just having the Astas, Gojos, and a little bit of Todorokis in the back doing full damage and slowing them down, while I have Gojos time stopping once the Astas can actually reach the main enemy that I'm focusing, and then I have Todorokis up in the front a little bit just to slow them down before I hit them with the impact. And of course the Yunos, I'm gonna have to upgrade them all the way up to the point where they have big AoEs and do a ton of damage, so then it'll kill the Arankars earlier, plus it can get rid of heirs earlier as well. There is a bunch of shields as well, so you know, I want to be careful of that and focus them first. So that's why I have the Yunos, because they have much more range and much more AoEs and much more versatility in terms of damaging units than Asta. So yeah, let me go ahead and fast forward this and then meet you guys at the end.
12 seconds later.
Okay, now that we're on wave 20, you could really see how Yuno plays out. Yuno is so useful because he doesn't do too much damage to Aizen because of course he has that 150 magical and physical resist, but Yuno has so much range that he could basically prioritize Aizen after killing every single Arankar around them. 1. So, you know, Aizen's gonna lose a couple 100,000 HP before they even hit Asta. And then, of course, my Todorokis are gonna pull up, slow them down, and then my Astas are gonna do millions of damage. And then, of course, once Aizen gets a little too close, or once my Astas can all hit Aizen, then I can time stop him. Now, I recommend using time stop a little earlier, because then you could use it twice. But what I did here was basically I had to resell, alright? It was not the tactic that I wanted to do, because I wanted to stay in one position. But if it's what I had to do, it's what I had to do. So I sold my Astas, I sold my Todorokis, and moved it back a little bit more. And honestly, it was worth it, because of course, I won. That was the outcome. But if you need to move back, then do it. Don't let your ego feed into it, alright? Just win. It's a free dub. Just push a little harder. But yeah, Aizen, the only problem with him is that he has a bunch of HP and that magical and physical resist. So anything that could reduce it probably would be a better setup, like Sukuna if you have Astas as your main, or maybe Megami if you have Magics as your main. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm probably gonna grind up for Ichigo, because then he's gonna do amazing damage against Aizen. But besides that, I guess that's a way to solo Legend Stage 6.